So I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, and these are our predictions to Money in the Bank 2020. But before we get there, a little bit of admin Pacitti. Unfortunately, due to the fact that basically WrestleMania reactions almost killed 2 of our editing staff, we're not going to be able to do edited down reactions for this year's Money in the Bank. I'm sorry, noise complaints, near death of editors, I'm sure you understand. They were dealing with something like 18 hours of footage a day. It's just not feasible to do it this time around. I'm very, very sorry. However, you will get the usual What Happened At, graded, WTF, and I'm also going to be doing a live stream reactions on YouTube, youtube.com/cultaholic/live on Sunday night, so come and join me there. And also, the Culty in the Bank briefcase is once again on the line. Who will get to take this bad boy home? Or rather, have it posted to them and then they stay at home due to current circumstances. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get on with the predictions. So we're kicking things off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now I know technically it's all one big match. Both the men and the women are going to try to ascend Titan Towers to get to Titan Terrace, climb the Titan ladder, and retrieve the Titan in the Bank briefcase. However, we're going to bookend it. We're going to do the women's Money in the Bank winner first, and then the men's at the end. So, 6 superstars: Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Carmella, and Lacey Evans, all competing at the same time. It's been announced that Becky Lynch is going to have some kind of confrontation with the winner of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which makes me think it's going to be a Raw superstar. Because I don't think they're going to do a draft, a superstar shake-up, if you will, without there being a live crowd, without things being back to normal. So I'm going with a Raw superstar. So it's between Nia, Shayna, Asuka. I don't think it's going to be Nia Jax. I think she's going to get taken out in spectacular fashion halfway through the match. And let's face it, she doesn't really deserve it either. Shayna Baszler, odds-on favourite at the moment. However, this is now main roster Shayna Baszler, and they're not afraid to give her a loss. So I'm not going to go with Shayna. I'm picking Asuka here. I'm not at all sure on this, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. Asuka has been the MVP of the empty arena era. She's been fantastic. She's been wrestling all over the place, even popping up on main event. She's been hilarious, and I think Asuka, with the briefcase and her new trollish character, is money. I think it'll be so bloody entertaining. So I'm picking Asuka, but I'm not sure at all.
The women's briefcase has to go to Shayna Baszler. She has been a dominant presence on the Raw roster overall, and they said that the winner of the women's Money in the Bank match will come face to face with Becky Lynch the Monday after. Shayna, Becky 2.0. This time with Shayna winning, I'm here for it.
So the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, I've had to do process of elimination on this one because I'm really not certain. We're starting off with one of the hardest ones to predict, I think. I don't think Carmella's going to win. I don't think Dana's going to win. I think that in the case of Shayna and Lacey, they do have a chance, but I think it's too soon after they lost at WrestleMania to build them back up again. So I think that leaves us with either Asuka or Nia Jax. I'm going to go for Asuka. I think the focus has all been on Nia Jax, and I feel like these rumours of Asuka getting a push soon could be in the form of a Money in the Bank briefcase win. And of course, there are rumours that Kairi Sane's going to be off soon once her contract's expired. So I'm going to go for Asuka, even though she's wrestled the champion Becky a lot in the past, but I think she's going to win and maybe might even hop over to the blue brand with it.
So for the winner of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, I'm going for somebody from Monday Night Raw, because on this week's Raw, we learned that on next week's Raw, Becky Lynch will be confronting the winner of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So how can that be a woman from SmackDown when Becky is Raw's champion? So that leaves us with Asuka, Shayna or Nia. I don't think it will be Shayna because Vince McMahon clearly doesn't understand Shayna. I can't bring myself to say it will be Nia, even though she is not like most girls and being built up to be bigger and harder than Brock Lesnar over the past few weeks. So I'm going for the star of the self-isolation era. Asuka will be Mrs. Money in the Bank, married to that there briefcase. I hope they have a wonderful honeymoon.
Next up, the SmackDown tag titles are on the line in fatal four-way action. You've got the champions, the New Day, taking on the Forgotten Sons, taking on the Miz and Morrison, taking on, for some reason, the Lucha House Party. I'm going to do process of elimination here. Lucha House Party are out first because, come on, behave. Forgotten Sons, they're out as well because, unfortunately for them, I think they are going to live up to their name and be forgotten sooner rather than later. Sorry, lads. It could be Miz and Morrison. They might hotshot the titles back to them, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to keep the straps on the New Day. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going with the New Day. Kofi and Big E, do it for me. Rhymes.
Feels a bit soon, but I'm calling Forgotten Sons. I have a feeling that WWE want to strap the rocket to these lads, and the best way to do it is have them defeat 3 of the top tag teams in the company. Well, 2 of the top tag teams in Lucha House Party. So Forgotten Sons to win the tag belts at the pay-per-view. Calling it.
This one's an interesting one because obviously there's been some upsets in the SmackDown tag team division recently with my boys, the Lucha House Party, picking up a win, or my boy and his not as good mate, and the Forgotten Sons pinning the New Day as well. I don't think that's going to have much of a bearing on this match, even though in my heart I would love it if Lince Dorado won. He's not going to, and that makes me really sad. I'm going to have to go for the sensible, cold, logical option and say that the New Day are going to win. And then maybe we'll see Xavier Woods back to help out his boys if the Forgotten Sons become too much in the whole numbers game and that sort of thing. But no, I really want Lince to win that one. New Day's my pick.
For the SmackDown Tag Team titles, I'm going for the New Day because I just can't get it out my mind just before WrestleMania 36, the New Day standing off against the Usos. Those 2 tag teams going, let's have one more D, boys. Don't know what the D was about there, but I reckon it's SummerSlam, that final D, the final battle between the New Day and the Usos will happen. So the New Day will retain and hold those titles all the way through until the SummerSlam. And also, the rest of the tag teams, apart from Jomo and The Miz, they're crap and shouldn't be winning anyway.
Next up, the SmackDown Women's title is on the line. Bayley, the champion, taking on Tamina. Right. There's a lot to think about here, basically, because Sasha Banks could very easily get involved. Part of me thinks that Sasha is going to win the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in on the same night, but briefcases, the cash-ins, they're always better in front of a live crowd, and they've got a whole year to play with that, so I don't think they will do that, but they might. They might. Tamina can't win this. Whatever Ross is about to say about Tamina and choo-choo and all that, it's Tamina. Let's be serious for just a second. It's Tamina. She's been great. She's been better on social media. Her creative on social media of her own doing has been better than WWE's creative for the last 10 years. God bless her. But it's Tamina. It can't happen. I think Sasha is almost going to cost Bayley the match, but Bayley is just going to win. Just. And then they're going to have a bit more of a falling out, and it'll lead on probably all the way to SummerSlam. I'm not sure again, but come on. It's Tamina.
As much as I would love to see the Tamina train rolling through Bayley Station and putting the championship in her caboose, it ain't happening. There's going to be shenanigans, but it's going to be Bayley to retain.
Bayley versus Tamina. Bayley's going to win this match. Not looking forward to it particularly. Yeah, Bayley's going to win. I don't see any way that anyone could pick Tamina apart from obviously her #1 fan, Ross. In fact, if Ross doesn't pick Tamina for this match, then I think he is legitimately an actual coward. So hopefully elsewhere in this video you've seen Ross pick Tamina, or he'll pick Tamina just after me. But I'm going for Bayley, which is the correct answer, and it'll definitely get me a point. But Ross has painted himself into a corner here, and he has to go for Tamina, or he is a coward.
Whoa! You know it's going to happen, don't you? Tamina's going to win the big one finally. She will be your new SmackDown Women's Champion come the close of Money in the Bank 2020. 10 years she's been on the roster in WWE, and what she won over the course of those 10 years? One 24/7 title. So May the 24th, that is Tamina's 10-year anniversary in WWE, and come that date, she will be your SmackDown Women's Champion. Go and look at her Twitter, go and look at her Instagram. She's been on fire! Oh, over the past little while. Why aren't these little vignettes being included in SmackDown? I have no idea. All I know is that for sure, you can forget about Sasha Banks. Tamina's going to win. I hope so.
Next up, Universal title action as Braun Strowman, the champion, defends against Bray Wyatt, not The Fiend. However, because this is pre-recorded, I think all of it's pre-recorded, certainly some of it is, but because this is pre-recorded, they've got the opportunity to do something really fun here and have Bray and The Fiend pop up at the same time. So I hope we see that. However, WWE, they booked themselves into a corner last time, didn't they? Fiend should have never been champion. It was just foolish. And not even WWE are stupid enough to let that happen again. Of course they are. Of course they are. But I think Braun's going to win this one. I think he's going to retain the belt. I hope the feud doesn't continue, to be honest. I hope they elevate a new star over on SmackDown. Cesaro, please Cesaro, please Cesaro. Even if he loses, put Cesaro in the main event. Come on, now's the time to do it. It's been the time to do it for a long time. I'm going with Braun, and I think he's going to win clean as well.
I see Bray Wyatt winning it. I think this is where they retcon the whole Goldberg title win and all the nonsense that happened around WrestleMania. Truth be told, Braun Strowman was never part of the plans anyway, so why not put the belt back on Bray and let's carry on where we left off. The Fiend to win the title.
So first of all, I think this is a bad matchup. It's a matchup that no matter who loses, they get damaged by the loss quite heavily. If Braun Strowman loses, then obviously his short title reign has just come to a pretty immediate end. If Bray Wyatt loses, we're back to where we were before WrestleMania, aren't we? With Bray Wyatt losing matches that he really should be winning. I'm gonna go with, it's a hard one this, I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt. I think they're gonna reset the booking to where they were before the whole Goldberg-shaped obstacle they ran into came along, and I think that Bray Wyatt's going to win. Braun's going to have effectively been a transitional champion, and we'll await the return, I suppose, of Roman Reigns. Although they haven't been too keen about mentioning Roman on WWE TV recently, but I think that's still going to be the long-term plan, and obviously Goldberg threw a bit of a wrench in the works, but they're going to work past that here, and I think give Bray Wyatt the win, but it's a difficult one.
I reckon Braun Strowman will beat Bray Wyatt because this is Bray Wyatt and not The Fiend. That's what I think WWE will do, not necessarily what I want them to do, but that's what I think they'll do because Bray is too kind and too happy and all that malarkey, and Braun's a big sweaty man, and I don't know, to be honest with you, this one's really hard. I just don't think Bray should be in the Universal title picture, but he is, so there we go. Braun Strowman to win, it won't be pretty.
Next up, the WWE Championship is on the line. The champion, Drew McIntyre, oh, it feels nice to say that, taking on Seth Rollins, who has been doing, in my opinion, the work of his career right now. I'm loving Seth's character. It's great. It's really great. But I would argue this is probably the most predictable match on the card as far as the results go. I think Drew's winning here, isn't he? He shouldn't drop the belt yet. It was a great choice of first feud after WrestleMania for Drew McIntyre as well. I know we've seen Seth in the main event picture quite a lot, but, you know, safe pair of hands. And they're going to have a wonderful match together. It's going to be really fantastic. But Drew, after 2 Claymores, is going to pick up the win here and retain his title.
There's only one winner. It's gotta be Drew McIntyre to retain his title over Seth Rollins. This is gonna be Drew McIntyre's first decisive, proper win since becoming the WWE champion, notwithstanding that match against the Big Show that happened after WrestleMania. But Drew is gonna give the big old Claymore to Seth and establish himself as the top guy. So Drew to win the whole thing.
WWE title match, Drew versus Seth. I'd be shocked. I'd be really, really shocked if Seth Rollins picked up the win here. I think that Drew is already being portrayed as quite a strong champion. It's obviously a shame that he can't do it in front of any fans, and it would be an even bigger shame if he lost that belt before getting a chance to even have it in front of a live audience. So I think that Drew's going to keep this title for quite some time, and I can't see Seth Rollins beating him here. The only potential, like, minuscule chance I can see Rollins having is if he were to win and then Drew would get it back in the very near future before we return to live shows once again. But no, I think it's going to be Drew, and I can't really see a way that that's going to go wrong. I'm prepared to eat those words.
In the WWE Championship match, I'm going for Big Daddy Drew McIntyre for one of 2 main reasons. First of all, it's way too soon to be taking the title off of Big Daddy Drew. And second of all, that no good supposed Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, should be nowhere near the WWE Championship, considering he lost to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 36. Surely this can't have been the original plans for the WWE Championship coming out of WrestleMania. KO is injured, Seth Rollins is standing in. I know Braun Strowman sort of proves me wrong in saying this, but surely, since Rollins is just a stand-in, they won't go with him? But nah, it's just too soon, isn't it? It's just too soon.
And finally, who will be crowned the new Mr. Money in the Bank? It's between Otis, Rey Mysterio, Daniel Bryan, Zombie AJ Styles, Aleister Black, King Corbin. So, process of elimination once again. Otis. I would love to see Otis with Mandy on one arm and the briefcase in t'other. However, as touching a moment as that would be, I don't think we're going to get it. And in all honesty, Otis isn't quite ready for the world title picture just yet, and he's already involved in a very prominent and entertaining storyline. It's fine. It doesn't need the briefcase, if we're honest. Rey Mysterio, he's about 102 years old. Again, doesn't need it. Daniel Bryan, he's held it before. Could he do it again? Yeah, I think he could, but I don't think he will. I don't think he will. Zombie AJ Styles, well, he's back from the dead. He returned this week. All eyes on AJ, that's for sure. I would love to see AJ. They're teasing somebody getting tossed off the roof of Titan Towers. I want to see AJ plummet, and then, bing, the elevator opens. Out he comes in the same night, and he's back on the roof, and that's his new gimmick. He is literally undead. Please do that. They won't do that. Aleister Black deserves it, without a doubt. Future world champion, without a doubt. Is it his time now? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Which leaves only one man. And my pick for this year's winner of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, it's going to be King Corbin. It's going to be King Corbin. Mark my words. Mark my words. Baron Corbin is winning this, and he's going to be brilliant with the briefcase. He's a classic, old school heel. There's nothing likable about him. It's always better when the heel has the briefcase. It's always better than a babyface having it. And Corbin is going to piss each and every one of us off over the next 365 days. And I can't wait.
He's a late addition, but I reckon AJ Styles is winning the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I feel like a rivalry between him and Drew McIntyre would be a great way to sort of reboot AJ Styles, and they could have some cracking matches and some cracking teases for AJ taking the title from Drew, which I'm all about. AJ Styles to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
And finally, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, for the past couple of days, all I've been thinking is that AJ Styles is going to win this match because, of course, he came back at the Gauntlet on Raw and he's announced himself back in contention, I suppose, for everything. But I don't think he's actually going to win. I've really thought about this one. And I think that because he was a last-minute kind of replacement, they had to shoehorn him in to get him back into the product earlier than expected. I don't think they're going to give him the briefcase. I don't think he needs it. He's AJ Styles. I think that this could be a really good opportunity to elevate the man that I think is going to win this match, Aleister Black. And then I think that Aleister Black's going to take the briefcase over to SmackDown and have some kind of weird, bizarre, cinematic match with, hopefully, the champion by this point, The Fiend Bray Wyatt. And that is how I think it's going to go. It's a bit of a risky one because obviously I'm making picks based on other picks, and that's never the way to win these contests. But one day it's got to work, so that's why I'm going for Aleister Black, your favourite and mine.
And in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, I am going for AJ Styles because he doesn't care if you bury him alive and leave his lifeless hand sticking out the ground like that. He comes back to life. So like he said on this week's Raw. So what to you and I? AJ Styles will win. It just seems like too much of a logical thing to do at this stage after he's come back from that. He's a heel. He'll do good stuff with the briefcase. Who's Drew McIntyre going to face beyond Seth Rollins? We have no idea. Could it be Jinder Mahal? Am I talking myself out of this pick? I have no idea. But I'm going to go for AJ Styles because that's what I'm feeling right now.
So those are our predictions for Money in the Bank 2020. Sam Driver is still your Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion. However, us four are competing to become Mr. Culty in the Bank. The new logo sticker hasn't turned up yet. Sorry. Before I go, one more time, just want to say, and I know I keep repeating myself, thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support of Cultaholic during this very, very difficult time. We send our love to each and every one of you. You guys are the absolute best. We cannot thank you enough. We're so lucky to have you guys. Tune in, live reactions, youtube.com/cultaholic/live, and then stay tuned for what happened at Graded WTF. We've got pictures coming this week too. Oh, it's fun, isn't it? That was weird. See you later!